the top table and to the co-main event, and it is welcome to Troy Coleman, who's joined us from the UK. Troy, great to see you and welcome. What do you know about Isaac Hardman, the head splitter?
I know that he talks a lot. He's got some power. That's about it. He's a talker, so that's it really.
When you've had a look at his fights though, aside from the knockout victories, what have you seen that when they asked you about this opponent, you were happy to jump in?
This fight actually, I sent this to my manager about 8 months ago, and I said I'd fancy this fight in about a year's time. He got on his truth, and then he come to me and he sent me the fight, and he totally forgot that I sent him this. So I've already seen holes in Isaac from way before, but he's got a good power, good timing. His game, he's got dog in him, but so have I, and you're going to see that on Wednesday. I'm ready.
Tell us about the holes. What did you see?
You're gonna see all them on Wednesday. I'm gonna give too much away. I've had a good camp. I've been in Uzbekistan for 5 weeks. The only English speaker there, so I feel at home now. Sleeping in a sofa bed, training with loads of Russians. Like, you know, I'm ready. Like, I've put myself out there, been uncomfortable, and now it's just the fun part. Like, I'm ready. Like, you're gonna see on Wednesday, I am ready for this fight.
Do you have any concerns about the power of someone like Isaac Hardman?
No concerns. Look, I've seen it, I respect it, and it's good that you know the strengths of your opponent, but you've got to focus on what you're going to do to take that away, and that's what I've been doing this camp. I've seen what I've seen of Isaac, I respect him as a fighter, but then I've gone away and I've worked on myself, and that's how you better yourself after each fight. And the version he's going to see of me is a version he hasn't prepared for, because it's a different version, so we're ready.
Okay, thank you, Troy Coleman. I'll head over to Isaac Hardman, who is up here at the top table with us. Isaac, well, pretty cut and dried. He's convinced most of us. I think he's got you covered.
Yeah, we've got holes, only holes on Wednesday night with the ones I punched in the in, but yeah, I'm excited to be here.
What have you seen from what you've seen of Troy Coleman?
He's long, he's tall, he's got a good jab. Like you said, he's been over in Uzbekistan training, so he's I think his best attribute is his willingness to win. But you know, you have that until you get banged on the chin, and that goes out the window, and that's what I plan to do.
Do you still have that power, Isaac?
Sure.
We haven't seen you put anyone to sleep for a while.
Come on, I've got it. Don't you worry, it's there. It's just I added a little bit more software to the computer system last time and showed a bit more skills, but I still got the power. Don't you worry.
And what do you foresee in a fight like this? Is it an explosive knockout that you're predicting?
Oh, whatever comes. I feel like I'm yet to change that narrative of being just this one-punch power puncher into the boxer. I can box too. I've mixed it with some of the best guys in the world. So I'm excited to show that if the knockout comes, you know, it's going to resemble something like a Mack truck blowing through a little wallaby. So
I heard you talking about your old friend Michael Zarafa.
He's a fuckwit. But he beat me, so he's got the trump card, but he's a wanker.
Is a fight like this the way you see it an audition towards fighting him again?
No way, because he'll never want to fight me again, because he holds that mandatory or whatever he's doing, but I've got to put him in the back, him in the corner. I hope he wins a world title if he ever gets around to doing it. You know, he's had one here on No Limit, and he tossed that up and flaked on that, but if he ever goes and fights for one, I hope he wins it, because I'll back him in the corner where I'm his mandatory and he has to fight me. That's the only way I'll get hands on that man again, unless it's at the pub here at the Watson. But either way, we've done that before and I got in trouble for it. But yeah, it's just, I'm fighting to get that in that man's face once again.
Tell us, for those who might be thinking about coming along to Newcastle Entertainment Centre or watching on main event, why should they tune in and see this co-main event?
Well, because I'm the head splitter and I'm going to whack these cocks in sports mode, hit him with the 1-2 Timmy Zoo, and it's good night to this geezer.
I was going to keep going, but I reckon that's a good way to finish with you, Isaac. Thanks so much. That is the co-main event. Looking forward to Isaac Hardman and Troy Coleman. I don't know, do you want to respond? No.
He's going to see.
He's going to see, all right. Okay, time now to talk to the main event fighters, Nikita Tszyu and Dylan BRIGGS. This is for the Australian Super Welterweight title, which is currently held by Dylan BRIGGS, who joins us from Beaudesert in Queensland. Dylan, I'll start with you. Welcome. How are you feeling about fight week? Because plenty, including your opponent who spoke to us last night in the face-off, think that you're going to wilt under the pressure of the bright lights and everything going on.
Yeah, mate, everything's been running smoothly. Great camp, great everything. Media's not a worry, it's just cameras. I'm a fighter and I fight, and that's what I plan to do on Wednesday.
And one thing that has emerged is the debate over who's going to walk first and who's going to walk second. Traditionally, as the champion, you would be walking second and carrying your belt, but there is discussion that perhaps you'll be told to walk first. If so, what happens?
I guess we'll have to see. I'm not gonna sit here and tell everyone what's gonna happen, but yeah, traditionally the champion walks second, and that's how I think it should be.
But if you are told to walk first, is there a chance that you don't walk at all?
I guess we'll have to wait and see.
I think he's telling us there's a chance. Nikita,
Look,
should we cover this?
Stop being such a brat about it. Like, this is the promoters, their show. My promoters, they're the ones that are putting up the big bucks to create this event, and when you get the call to come out, you come out. Like, I don't know what's so hard about it.
I guess it's too bad I don't take instructions from Nikita Tszyu.
He said it's too bad I don't take instructions from Nikita Tszyu.
It's from,
So he'll be walking second?
in my opinion, yes.
Well, I think maybe you've been told now that they want you to walk first, Dylan. Do you have any response to George, or?
This conversation is honestly getting very stale at the moment. Like, do we really need to keep discussing this?
Well, I think we need to get a resolution.
bland. Yeah, you listen to the person that tells you, that comes into your dressing room, it's your turn to walk, then you walk. Simple as that.
Any final words on this?
We'll see.
We'll see. All right.
It's just being overcomplicated for no reason. It's very unnecessary. You get the call, let's go. We're going to get into the fight no matter what. You want to fight me, yeah? Yeah. So why don't you want to get into the ring? If you get the call to go into the ring, why would you take that?
Because I'm the champion and I deserve to respect the walker first. Second time.
Do you feel disrespected, Dylan, by this conversation, by your name being second on the poster? Do you feel you're not being treated like an Australian champion?
Yeah, kinda. I understand partly what George Rose and that's saying, but I said in one of my earliest interviews with this fight that the belt should come before the last name, and I don't see why that should change.
This is clearly a fight that you're excited about, that means a lot to you. Why is that? What does Nikita Tszyu represent to you at this stage of your career?
Nikita Tszyu is standing in the way of the next step in my career and standing in the way of everything that I've worked hard for over the past three and a half years of my professional career.
And how far do you think you can go? If you beat Nikita Tszyu, what's Dylan Biggs going to become?
I could be the cringe guy and say world title and all the rest of it, but we'll see. I'll take it as far as I can take it with the cards that I've handed.
It's another storyline that we have covered, obviously, but there was a sparring session. You dropped Nikita Tszyu. There's been a lot of talk about it. Do you take any confidence from that very fact as we get so close to this actual fight?
It's getting a bit old. It's a long time ago. Can't take nothing from it. Sparring session's a sparring session. It's different to a fight. It was a long time ago. We both improved as fighters, and I don't see why it keeps getting mentioned, to be honest.
Well, I think it's because Nikita has talked to it so much and said that he's thought about it so much. He's focused on you throughout his professional career. Does that give you any sort of feeling, the fact that through his 7 fights to date, he's been thinking about you the whole time?
Yeah, it gives me a psychological edge, I believe, but yeah, he can think about me all he wants, but once we get in the ring, there's only 2 people in there, and we're just going to punch each other till someone rings the bell.
Do you think about him as much as he's thought about you?
No, definitely not.
This is just a regular fight for you. The conversation that we had yesterday gave me the impression that you're treating this like every other fight. For me, this is like a life or death situation. This is what everything means to me. My life is kind of coming to a crescendo at this point. So That's what is the driving force of what I've been doing for the last 2 years with my professional career.
Yeah, the thing is, I treat every fight as seriously as I would for a world title fight, so it's no different to every other one. I train the hardest that I've ever trained every camp, and I'm always improving every camp, so it is what it is.
There was a promo released last week where Nikita's sitting with his dog drinking some milk and he throws a knife at a photo of you. What did you think about that?
I thought it was stupid and cringy. I've said this on Fox, I believe. It's already been mentioned, and that's my thoughts on it.
Why was it stupid?
I have a good looking dog though, don't I? Do you like my dog?
Yeah, your dog's cute. I don't think Lucifer's
My
a
dog's not
great
stupid,
name.
yeah? It's just me that's stupid.
What?
It's just me that's stupid, not the dog, yeah?
Yeah, the premise of the whole video.
You wouldn't have agreed to be part of something like that?
No, definitely not.
As he said yesterday, he'd be happy to do just a generic, bland boxing video as a promotional thing. Just not willing to do anything that the TV would want to hype up for the fight. Just quoting.
Dylan, I'll go back to Nikita in a minute, but anything further that you want to say? We've covered some of the storylines, but I know there's a lot of motivation and a lot of feeling in this fight. Anything further you want to say to your fans and those watching who are excited by this fight?
Yeah, I hope to put on a great show for everyone, and I hope everyone watches and they get the best performance that I can put on. Yeah, time for talking's over. It's fight time, so I'm done talking.
What's going to happen in the fight, Dylan? The way you see it, how does this finish?
It's an exciting one for the fans. We both have knockout power. I know I've got knockout power in both hands, and it's one you don't want to blink on because the fight will get stopped at any moment.
There's just one other thing. You did mention that you had concerns about the judging in Newcastle. Are those concerns that you still possess, that you think it would be very difficult for you to get a decision in Newcastle?
Yeah, look, mate, I still stand by that, but I don't think this fight's making a decision, to be honest. I don't think that'll even be a factor that we need to worry about.
Let's head over to the challenger in this fight, Nikita Tszyu. Nikita, how do you feel about that storyline? The idea that the judges are on your side and that someone needs to stop someone for this to be fair?
I agree. The fight shouldn't go to the judges. So my dad used to always tell me as well, if you want to have complete control of a fight, don't let it go to the judges.
And has that been your intention since that sparring session that you've thought about so much, is to have a fight with Dylan and to stop him in that fight?
It's never been to just stop him, it's just been to have that victory. To be able to stand over his body.
And why does that mean so much to you?
It's just the driving force for me. It's like a pivotal moment for me in my career, and this is like my make it or break it moment.
This means more than any of the others, is that fair to say?
Yeah, without a doubt. Dylan talks about how every single fight has the same kind of caliber, or same kind of intensity, or same kind of intention, but I think different fights vary. There's more emotion that comes with some other fights. There's variety to your opponents. There's sometimes a little more hatred, sometimes a little more love. And for me, this fight is the biggest of them all. This is where everything kind of comes together, and this is where the biggest weight is involved, the biggest set of pressures involved. And honestly, I've always thought this, but the greatest challenges, they bring out the best in you. And Dylan's easily the toughest opponent that I've had to face, and he's going to bring out the best in me.
These will probably be the final words that you say to Dylan BRIGGS before we head to the ring on Wednesday night. We're weighing tomorrow, of course, but what's the last thing you'd like to say to Dylan after all the talking that's gone on, both in person and via the media over the last few weeks?
Enjoy the moment.
Enjoy the moment. We will indeed. Let's face off these two fighters, Nikita Tszyu and Dylan BRIGGS, up here at the top table. super welterweight title fight between Dylan Biggs and Nikita Tszyu. You'll see all the action live on Main Event Television this Wednesday night. Thanks so much for joining us here at the official press conference. We'll see you tomorrow at the weigh-in in Newcastle. I'm Ben Damon. I'll see you at the fights.